Without someone called Penny, Glenn Lang in Darwin might not be here today.
So one of the most important jobs she does for me is she wakes me up from nightmares and flashbacks. So she sleeps beside me all the time. So she will initially come up with just one paw and touch my body with one paw. If I ignore her, she'll do a two-paw push. And if I ignore that, she actually jumps up on top of the bed and does like a CPR push on my chest to wake me up. Before I had Penny for that, I might be off for 5 days or so before I could get some of the shit out of my head.
Penny is a dog, a 5-year-old border collie cross blue heeler.
If we're in the shopping centre and she picks up that my anxiety level is too much for me to handle, she will physically drag me out like the worst trained dog on a walk you could ever imagine. She will physically drag me out to the nearest exit, and then once we're out there, then she'll come in between my leg and just give that mindfulness.
Penny, come on, pressure. Good girl, pressure.
After working as an ambulance officer in Queensland, Glenn started working in corrections in Darwin back in 2005. From day one, it meant dealing with some heavy situations.
You've got to respond to an inmate, that's committed self-harm. And unfortunately, some of those events might be bodily fluids to the extreme in a cell. And also the trauma involved with violent assaults within prison, responding to them and trying to protect the prisoners as best you can and save their lives as best you can.
At first, his response to these situations was immediate and physical. The shakes, hyperventilating. It was really confronting.
But as more and more events you get exposed to, you then start like compartmentalising or isolating those thoughts and the reactions and how you react externally. You become a good actor. You've got a smile on your face, but inside the fears and the anguish or the worst case scenarios start rolling through your brain about what could happen, what will happen. That starts bleeding onto your family. So you then start becoming a lot harder, a lot less emotional to your family and friends and issues that happen. Your child might be crying because they've hurt themselves, but you treat it very clinically.
Then one day at work, around 15 years after he started in corrections, it all caught up with him.
I just lost it. I had no control of my emotions, my body. I was just totally exposed. I just feel like someone kicked me in the chest and I was just falling. So after going through the GP, the counsellors, and then on to the psychiatrist, I was diagnosed with chronic post-traumatic stress syndrome. So it's not just one incident, it's a combination of incidents over the years. I've always been hesitant to do drugs, take drugs or that sort of stuff. So my psychiatrist suggested, animal therapy.
That led Glenn to an organisation called Young Diggers, which supports former soldiers and first responders reset their lives after trauma with the help of assistance dogs. But he still needed a dog. Soon enough, he heard about a litter of puppies.
We went around, there were 8 other dogs in the litter, and basically I just stood still and Penny came up, laid in between my feet and fell asleep. And that was it. She chose me. My guardian angel slept at my feet.
Good girl. Hey, good girl. Come on.
Now, for the past couple of years, Penny's come to work with Glenn, the first dog in Australia, working behind the wire to support an officer with PTSD.
For a worker that is bound to service to the community, all of a sudden to not be able to do something like that, you feel like you've lost a part of you. You feel lost, you know. So to be able to still go to work and feel like you're being a meaningful part of the community, you're providing a service to the community, means I've got something to wake up for every day, you know. I get that focused on at work that I forget about other stuff. But if something does come up within my mind, Penny has her triggers that she lets me know that I've either got to get out and decompress for a while, or, you know, let the other staff around me know that, you know, I need help.
She's got your back.
Yeah, she's got my back, my front, she's got inside my brain, she's got inside my nightmares, she's got everything covered.
Penny's meant something else for Glenn too.
Having Penny has meant that I am able to interact at an emotional level with my wife and family. It means that I can start getting back some level of care in my life rather than being dulled down and just reacting to life or treating everyone as a patient or everyone as a threat. So Penny gives that level that I can start becoming a family member again. So the critical endpoint is that don't be afraid to ask for help, no matter how traumatic, how exposed you feel at the time, or how you think people might take it. There's always someone else that's gone through exactly the same thing that you're going through, and there's always a solution to it. There's always someone out there that can put their hand out and say, here, let me help you up out of that hole.
If Glenn's story has resonated with you and you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to Lifeline on 131114.